Welcome to the Parenting Roundabout podcast for the week of February 10th, 2020. Every week we chat about the things parents are talking about, complaining about, and obsessing about right now. I'm Terry Morrow, and I'm here with Nicole Eridix.
Hello.
And Catherine Haleko.
Hello.
This week we're talking about ghosting and fixing Valentine's Day, plus taking a couple of breaks for an entertainment discussion and a recommendation roundup. Today we're talking about 7 things that moms of teens don't care about, at least according to the website Grown and Flown. Myself, not so sure. So the 7 things that they mention that you no longer have to care about once your kid is a teen, I guess along the lines of it's their problem at this point. But if they're wearing a coat, if we forget their name, if we aren't wearing the right outfit or do other things that embarrass them, like showing affection, if they have clean clothes, if they wear the same hoodie 5 days in a row, if their friends like us, and if their room is a mess. And my kids are now young adults, and I still care about those things. And I cared about them when they were teenagers. And certainly there is less of a way to complain about those things that is socially acceptable.
But I think there's some of those things that you don't care about. Like, you don't care about if you're not wearing the right outfit, right?
I think my kids don't care what outfit I'm wearing. Mm-hmm. I don't have kids who care.
So therefore you don't care.
So therefore I don't care. Mm-hmm. I've never been invited to care. I wasn't, when my kids were little, I mean, I know there's a lot of like sort of social pressure around the elementary school to fit in with the other moms around the playground. Do you have the right yoga pants? Yada, yada. But I had big enough problems in those days that I kind of had a pass. Mm-hmm. And I don't know. I don't think my kids honestly notice what I wear. Oftentimes I ask them, does this look okay? And they're like, yeah, what's your problem? So I don't care if their room is a mess. But then again, I didn't really care when they were younger either. Mm-hmm. Did I? Did I care if my son's room was a mess? I might have put stuff away, but mostly just because I didn't want to step on it. Clean clothes. Yeah, I still worry about that a little bit. I worry about that and they don't. So I will say, are you going to wear that? It's a little dirty. And they're like, Mom.
And that goes with the same hoodie 5 days in a row. I have the opposite. Yes. Like, if they would wear the same hoodie 5 days in a row, I would be thrilled, because otherwise
one less thing to wash.
Exactly. They wear a different one every single day. And my washing machine is now broken. It can't even keep up with these hoodies, and they're large size and need to be washed constantly.
See, in our house, I'm the one who would wear the same hoodie 5 days in a row. It's comfy.
Some of those things I definitely still care about.
I think it's more about the sort of liberation of when your kids are older and you realize that stuff doesn't matter. Right. Like the part about if they're wearing a coat, that's like a choose your battles thing that you should give up on, like, ASAP.
Right.
Yeah.
So I think that's the spirit of this. If it's not the specifics don't always match what we feel.
I don't know. We usually do discuss coats quite a bit in our house. My husband cares about it possibly even more than I do. But if somebody goes out wearing something inadequate, I will comment. I will possibly be ignored. But my son pretty much just puts on whatever we tell him to put on, but my daughter has opinions. So again, I feel like it's not so much that I no longer care. It's that nobody cares that I care.
Mm-hmm.
I do have a strong objection to the not caring if their friends like us, because I feel like it's important to have a somewhat positive relationship with your kids' friends, because then they'll want to be around. And they're not always leaving the house. And then you end up, I'm certainly not best friends with my kids' friends. That would be weird. But I do try and make an effort to establish positive relationships with them, because through high school, our place, there were kids coming and going, and it was really nice to have our place to be like a home base. And even now with Kristen being at university, when she comes home, she'd rather be at home and have her friends come visit than go. So I get to see her more.
So, do you care if the people she knows in college think you're a cool mom?
Actually, you know what? Like she's got a friend group up there right now, and it's not like I worked to establish or that I would care, but it's important to me that her friends don't mind me being around, because when I have been up there recently, you know, I'll go to her room and her friends will pop in for a visit and they'll sit and chat, and I usually bring food, which helps.
Yep.
And, you know, sometimes I'll FaceTime her and she'll be with her friends, and she won't want to say, oh my gosh, Mom, I got to go. My friends are here. She'll chat for a while and her friends will be in the background and say hi. And like I said, it's not like I'm trying to be their best friend. It's just that I've made an effort to just be friendly and not like this looming figure in the background.
Right.
And I don't want my kids to avoid me. And part of that is bringing their friends into the fold, because their friends are important to them. And so I object to that. I think that you should try and establish, you know, a decent relationship. The other part of that is that, you know, if your friends hate your parents or your parents hate your friends, that's like not a good thing. That just is a recipe for disaster. So they need to take that out of their grown-up zone. You got that one wrong.
You know, I think that you're right, that it's important that your kids' friends have a positive impression of you and do not want to flee from your presence and aren't bugged by you and wanting to not do anything at your house. It's not the same thing as liking you. And I think that there's a degree to which, I mean, I just like to be liked. I just want people to like me. I want everybody to like me. And sometimes I find myself doing sort of performative things to get my kids' friends to like me, that part of my brain is going, this is not necessary. Why do you care? So I wonder if that's maybe what they're talking about a little bit, that, you know, not disliking you and liking you are not necessarily the same thing. There should be a middle ground that, you know, you're happy your kid has friends, you're pleasant to them when they're around, but you don't want to be seen as cool and likable by them.
I think
I don't have that many friends. If my kids have people over, it's people in my house.
I think it also has to do with that whole thing of like, you're their parent, not their friend. So,
right.
You know, yes, I agree with Nicole that, you know, you want to have a good relationship with their friends, because that's just part of being a part of their life. But like you said, Terry, it's not about like, let's be besties and all go, you know, clubbing together or something.
I'm one of the group.
Yeah.
Well,
so I think that's maybe what they're.
Yeah. That gets a bit more embarrassing for everybody the older the kid gets.
Yeah.
And my mom, honestly, wanted very much to be liked by everybody and possibly, you know, tag along. So I am once again following in the patterns set in my childhood.
Yeah, I mean, I don't want to tag along, but I just kind of my purpose is my goal is to have them at home more. So,
right.
You know, I do what I can to keep them at home just so that I can see them more. But yeah, tagging along is creepy. No, in my situation, it would be creepy.
Yeah.
But, you know,
just happened to be at the same movie, you know, it's a complete coincidence.
Well, yeah, I mean, if, you know,
these are the only seats available.
Depends on your situation, right? So, I mean, everybody, yeah.
We'll go to the restaurant with you. We'll just sit at a different table. It'll be fine.
And that's unavoidable sometimes, but, you know, okay, I did do that when she was, you know,
I think I might have a problem.
I have to admit, I do my fair share creeping. I'm just not like, you know, visible. At least I think.
Have you ever forgotten your kid's name? That seems like a large family thing.
Yeah. I don't think I've done that.
Yeah, no, me neither.
I think if I had 4 or 5 kids. I mean, I guess if you start throwing the pets in there, then things can...
I have occasionally called my son by the dog's name. When
your dog's name was My Girl, you called your son.
I don't think I did that, but possibly Princess, which is might be worse.
The previous dog.
It's just when you're out walking the dog and you have the jumpy kid with you.
Yes.
And you're yelling at the dog to stop what they're doing. Stop that, stop that, stop that. And then you need to yell at the kid to stop what they're doing. Sometimes your brain has trouble catching up.
Exactly.
This is my excuse.
I think it's
and
legit.
Possibly at home. At home, too, when you're using the same tone of voice with the kid that you use for the dog.
Right.
You know, you slip up.
Yeah. Well.
Although, possibly I also called the dog by the kid's name, so.
Yeah, I think that could happen as well, for sure.
For the same reasons.
Yes.
It's like you get on a roll of yelling at people.
Right.
Or at creatures.
And you just can't stop.
Yeah, I can't.
But do you have a thing of like calling your kid a nickname that the kid does not appreciate if you use around anybody other than family?
Okay, I have done that.
Yeah, I've done that too. Mom!
Right. I've been guilty of that.
But I say it out of love, honey. Yes. Let me. Yeah, that goes to the showing affection.
Yeah, that one was in there, and I know that
that is definitely a no-no with my son. Yes. Even when nobody's there, because his friends might, I don't know, be surveilling us in some way. And it will be embarrassing.
It could happen in this technological age, Terry.
That's right. My friends have put secret spy cameras in our house. They will see. Stop it. Don't touch me. Don't kiss me. Don't say nice things.
Well, hopefully the friends are not listening to this podcast because we've been talking about them for this whole entire episode.
And every episode, honestly.
And yes.
We're all about the embarrassment.
With more to come. So that'll be it for today's round 1. Tune in tomorrow for our entertainment-themed round 2, and later in the week to find out what we're complaining about, obsessing about, and recommending right now. We're always interested in what you have to say, so drop us a comment on our website, our Facebook page, or Twitter, where you'll find us at Roundabout Chat.